Let's head on over to the top of the hill for some of the top stories around the country. And for that, we talked to Julia Manchester, national politics reporter from The Hill. Julia, there's really only one story in politics right now, and that is the drama that was the House Speaker's race now that it is finally over. Can you paint us a picture of the business that took place late Friday and even into Saturday morning in Washington?
Yeah, finally, the drama is over, Mitch. However, late Friday, early Saturday morning, we saw a lot of last-minute negotiations, obviously, on the House floor that really almost came to blows, with one Republican member appearing to almost lunge at Matt Gaetz. So clearly there's a lot of tension there, but I think it involved a lot of, politicking. Obviously, Kevin McCarthy very much trying until the very last moments to get Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, that group of conservative holdouts, to vote present, even though they wouldn't necessarily vote yes. You also saw Donald Trump calling into the House floor, calling Marjorie Taylor Greene and talking to some of these members. A lot of it has to do with concessions as well, particularly one concession that has conservatives on, more moderate Republicans, particularly raising their eyebrows, is, a single person being allowed to begin the process of ousting a House Speaker. So clearly a lot of concerns as to the concessions that Kevin McCarthy could have made, but he finally got over the finish line. And I would also say there's a lot of questions as to how powerful is the speakership now that we saw these members essentially delay it for as long as they did.
Well, Julia, let's talk about that, because Matt Gaetz said he ran out of things to even think to ask for, meaning that he got every concession that he wanted. Now, it seems like in order to become Speaker and have a functional House, Kevin McCarthy had to give in to 5 people that don't really represent the rest of the 435 members very well. And so is there going to be a way to govern, given that those 5 Republicans or so still have control over McCarthy to some extent, because they can just call to vacate him pretty easily?
That's a real concern that a lot of Republicans and even Democrats have right now, that McCarthy is essentially beholden to these members who have, delayed this process and who got all of these concessions. So, it raises questions over, this immediate Congress, but also the speakership going forward. I mean, I think there are concerns as to whether McCarthy has in this process, or this entire debacle, I should say, weakened the authority of the speakership. And it'll be interesting to see what pieces of legislation go forward and whether there's going to be room for compromise between Democrats and Republicans, with conservatives breathing down McCarthy's neck.
We got less than 30 seconds now, Julia. What does the government look like going forward as McCarthy finally takes control? What are they going to do first?
Well, look, I think they're going to obviously pass that rules package, and I think you've heard a lot of oversight, ideas, looking into COVID-19 investigations, as well as investigations into Hunter Biden, the president's son. So a laundry list of things, but I think overall Congress is going to continue to be gridlocked.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.